Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, Bharat Post News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today our topic is very relevant and very, I must say, which every household wants to know the conditions, and that is why the topic is Youth Conclave on Senior Citizens. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. After lifetime of working, raising families, and contributing to the success of this nation in countless other ways, senior citizens deserve to retire with dignity. Beautiful young people are acts of nature, but beautiful old people are works of art. Respect senior citizens because one day you all have to undergo this stage. Senior citizen is a common expression for an old person used in American English and sometimes in British English. It implies that the person being referred to is retired. This in turn usually implies that the person is over the retirement age, which varies according to country. Synonyms include old age pensioners or pensioner in British English and retiree and seniors in American English. Some dictionaries describe widespread use of senior citizens for people over the age of 65. When defined in an official context, senior citizen is often used for legal or policy-related reasons in determining who is eligible for certain benefits available to the age group. It is used in general usage instead of traditional terms such as old person, old age pensioner, or elderly as a courtesy and to signify continuing relevance of and respect for this population group as citizens of the society of senior rank. The term was apparently coined in 1938 during a political campaign. Famed caricaturist Al Hirschfeld claimed that on several occasions that his father Isaac Hirschfeld invented the term senior citizen. It has come into widespread use in recent decades in legislation, commerce, and common speech. Especially in less formal context, it is often abbreviated as senior, which is also used as an adjective. In commerce, some businesses offer customers of a certain age a senior discount. The age at which these discounts are available varies between 55, 60, 62, or 65, and other criteria may also apply. Sometimes a special senior discount card or other proof of age needs to be obtained and produced to show entitlement. According to the law, a senior citizen means any person being a citizen of India who has attained the age of 60 years or above. This is in India. Status of senior citizens in India. According to population census 2011, there are nearly 104 million elderly persons aged 60 years or above in India, 53 million females and 51 million male. A report released by the United Nations Population Fund and HelpAge India suggests that the number of elderly persons is expected to grow to 173 million by 2026. Both the share and size of elderly population is increasing over time. From 5.6% in 1961, the proportion has increased to 8.6% in 2011. For males, it was marginally lower at 8.2%, while for females, it was 9%. As regards rural and urban areas, 71% of elderly population resides in rural areas, while 29% is in urban areas. The life expectancy at birth during 2009 to 13 was 69.3 for females as against 65.8 years for males. At the age of 60 years, average remaining length of life was found to be about 18 years. That is by up to 78 years. That is 16.9% for males and 19% for females. And that at age of 70 was less than 12 years, 10.9% for males and 12.3% for females. Kerala has got the highest life expectancy at birth, followed by Maharashtra and Punjab. The life expectancy at birth in Kerala is 71.8 years and 77.8 years for males and females, respectively, as per the SRS report 2009 to 2013. For 2013, the age-specific death rate per thousand population for the age group 60 to 64 years was 19.7 for rural areas and 15 for urban areas. Altogether, it was 18.4 for the age group 60 to 64 years. As regards sex-wise, it was 20.7 for males and 16.1 for females. The old age dependency ratio climbed from 10.9% in 1961 to 14.2% in 2011 for India as a whole. For females and males, the value of the ratio was 14.9% and 13.6% in 2011. In rural areas, 66% of elderly men and 28% of elderly women were working, while in urban areas, only 46% of elderly men and about 11% of elderly women were working. The percent of literates among elderly persons increased from 27% in 1991 to 44% in 2011. The literacy rates among elderly females, 28% is less than half of the literacy rate among elderly males, that is 59%. Prevalence of heart disease among elderly population was much higher in urban areas than the rural parts. Most common disability among the aged persons was locomotor disability and visual disability as per census 2011. In the age group of 60 to 64 years, 76% persons were married, while 22% were widowed. Remaining 2% were either never married or divorced. State-wise data on elderly population divulged that Kerala has maximum proportion of elderly people in its population, 12.6%, followed by Goa, 11.2%, and Tamil Nadu, 10.4%, as per population census 2011. The least proportion is in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, only 4% elderly, and Daman and Diu and Meghalaya both 4.7%. Arunachal Pradesh 4.6%. It has been seen that the increase in life expectancy and the population of the elderly has increased several health-related and psychosocial problems in the life of elderly people. In developing countries like India, there are changes that have been seen as a decline in the joint family system and other social functions. Because of these changes, elderly people have faced difficulty in their life. Youth should be aware of these problems and have a positive attitude towards elderly people living in their society. Due to demonetization and now due to pandemic, most senior citizens are left unaware and struggling to cope with the digital progress. It leads them to feeling dependent, insecure, and irrelevant. Frustration of staying alone, continuously asking for help from their busy grandchildren or children who do not want to be disturbed while being connected online with the present ways of work and study. Exclusion has become a reality for elders. They had all the free time to learn and be self-reliant. They needed to be able to address their financial, social, health, and wellness need through digital mobile platforms. According to HelpAge, India's annual report, by 2050, the number of India's senior citizens will equal its under 18 population. With the advancement of medical science, life expectancy is expected to increase further from 67.5 years in 2015 to 75.9 years over the next 3 decades, thus indicating an urgent need to create a digital infrastructure that supports and harness the power of this large yet often forgotten silver segment. They may not have been born unlocking smartphones or punching on keyboards, but India's elderly have witnessed some of the most difficult challenges and overcome those with their sheer resilience and perseverance. The generation of senior citizens is not afraid of change and has adapted itself to new and emerging perspective, societal changes, opinions, and thoughts that are often contrary to what they grew up with. And to discuss this very, very important topic about the senior citizens, today we have a youth conclave on senior citizens. We have 8 youth, those who are giving their views on this particular topic, as well as we have our chief guest. And I would like to welcome and introduce our chief guest of today's program. She is Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is Registrar of the School of Social Work, Roshni Nyalaya at Mangalore. Professor Dr. Rai is a national karate champion. She has put lots of efforts in popularizing waste management and creation of plastic-free surrounding, for which she got Republic Day Award for the leadership in anti-plastic Andolan. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai is a grassroots level worker for upliftment of women and children. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai had done a commendable job as NSS coordinator and youth Red Cross nodal officer at Mangalore University for 5 years. She was declared best NSS program officer of Karnataka. Her passion is to prepare youth for leadership. Welcome, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai on our show. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, you are so active, still you are so active, and you have done so much work through NSS and through the Red Cross. And you know the conditions, the society's condition today, the social fabrics, what is happening today. And you know there is a lots of talks about the senior citizens. Nowadays, senior citizens feels that the youth are not giving them what they deserve. Youth feel that the senior citizens are outdated. They are not smart. They are not tech savvy. They are like a burden on them. Many, I'm not saying everyone, exceptionals are everywhere, but many of the youth feels, but there is a coordination among them also. Whenever there is a need, the senior citizens or the oldies are always there for the youth. And whenever there is a need for the oldies or the senior citizens, youth are always there to help them. And we have seen in this pandemic how the youth came forward and helped the senior citizens in different cities in India, rather I will say all over the world. So now we would like to know your views that how the youth, because it's a youth conclave on senior citizen. Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, please.
Good morning. Good morning to all organizers of this media conference, Youth Conclave on Senior Citizens. Especially, I thank Mr. Lal Goel for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be the chief guest for this conclave, especially to interact with this young, vibrant youth, especially on the topic senior citizens. The minute I come across the word senior citizen, what comes to my mind is that respect, love, caring, experience, wisdom, knowledge, value-oriented, role model, guide, and a motivator. Age is just a number. All of us know. Let our dreams stay big, worry stay small, we say. We need to respect this age Why? Because it is our future. Today, we may not be senior citizens, but one day we are going to be senior citizens. So let us remember, respect old age. It is our future. With these few words, let me interact with our young guests of the day. It's very nice to see that about 8 guests are there with us, young guests, along with our motivator, Mr. Lal Goel, who has been every day working so hard, rain or sun or whatever may be, Mr. Lal Goel, every day I see the program being organized. It's not that easy. Congratulations to you, and may God give you a lot of energy to continue your activity. This kind of program gives lot of information. We get motivated. Many a times I encourage my students also to participate, come out of the classroom situation and participate in your program, because there is variety. You get guests from all over the country, and it is such a learning experience rather than we talking all the time within the four walls of the classroom. Thank you for this kind of programs being organized, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. First of all, I would like to clarify, yes, you all are, including Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, are not senior citizen, but you have to exclude me. I am a senior citizen. Now, coming what she says, I am really amazed. So many adjectives have been used. Yesterday, I was doing a program on image building, and one of the panelists told us that there are infinite images of a person. There is a person can be termed in a different way by different people. So what she has mentioned, this is her view, because whatsoever she thinks, she has spoken. But I know many of the people think other way. So it is all depends. If you are having good vibes in yourself, you will think good for others, even for your parents, for your grandparents, or for everyone. But if you are not having that types of vibes, then you will be talking something else. But what Professor Dr. Vinita Rai has mentioned, if these words are coming in our mind when we are talking about the senior citizen, I am sure then we need not to discuss this topic at all. While we are discussing, we know the hard reality, what is happening in India. I do not want to create any negative impression, although if you Google yourself, you will find so many reports. And that's why Honorable Supreme Court has to intervene many times. The high courts have to intervene to restore the dignity of the senior citizens. And so many laws have been passed. But I can say the new generation, which is a millennial generation, they have more respect to their grandparents, which I have seen personally now, and I am experiencing, and that's why what our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, is mentioning, because she is interacting with all of you on a daily basis in the college, which I am not interacting. But really, this is a fact. I found that the new generation is not only tech savvy, but they also found that the grandparents or the senior citizens of their family or the society also requires care. So let's hope that this will continue. But we would like to know, as our chief guest say, we would like to know from you all your views about senior citizens. So I am going to start. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, for giving the opening remarks. And I'm sure today's conference will also be a milestone in the media conference with Lal Goel. Thank you very much, Professor. Now I would like to invite my first guest, and she is Miss Bhagyashri Kakade. Miss Bhagyashri, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have heard her, and she has used so many good adjectives. Now, but again, I am saying, don't go on those words. We want your frank and straight opinion about senior citizens, and what you think and what should be the role of youth. Miss Bhagyashri Kakade, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, respected Professor Dr. Vinita Rai ma'am, respected Lal Goel sir, Global TV, and all the youth guests present here, and the people who are watching our live stream on YouTube, Facebook, and other channels. A very good morning to everyone. I am Bhagyashri Kakade from Satara, Maharashtra. I have pursued my post-graduation degree from microbiology, and now I am working in my startup named Ayugram E-Commerce India Private Limited, which is basically an e-commerce platform, and it has a lot of variety of products included. Along with that, we are also working into business network development program. So this is what my profile is. I have heard Professor Dr. Vinita Rai ma'am. Actually there are various things that she's told, and that is the reality in today's world. Because when I got this topic to be shared to share my views, that time I scrolled through internet. So while scrolling, and I being somewhat interested in Sanskrit, I found an old script of Sanskrit, which is a short versage. It says that Abhivadan Shilasya Nityam, Vruddhopasevina, Chatvari Tasya Vardhante, Ayur Vidya Yashobalam. These are four beautiful lines. But if we consider or look at its English translation, it says that for those who act humbly or serve elderly people, four things in life always are gained by these people. These four things are life, wisdom, wealth, fame, and the power. These four things in life are achieved by that people. Now, why will they achieve all these things? So what is the reason? That there is no any magic in this world, but yes, there is a magic in this world. Basically, if we think that the DNA of the human is actually composed of love, compassion, caring, right? But because of this tough world, this DNA is somewhat suppressed. Now, if we the way we show compassion and love for a newborn child or the younger people, in the same way, if we show the same compassion and love for the elderly people, this DNA that gets demolished by the time will get increased. And what this world needs is all that things that when we serve for elderly people. Now, second thing is these old people are actually an alive history. So that we can connect with them, we can hear their experiences, we can get their support for our future activities, and all this is actually needed. Now, when I also saw one survey which was done by Tata Group, that is Tata Trust and United Nations Population Fund, that is UNPFA. So it says that India's population, from all over India's population, that's 8.6% of population actually consist of the people who are above 60 years of age. Now, if we consider this ratio, then this 8.6% population is actually a library for all of us. Because when we'll go with some questions to these people, then we'll get a proper answers which will be attached with the experience of these people. So this is what a sort of psychological or somewhat philosophical thing, or the supportive nature which we can give to the people and what they can give to us. But considering overall things, let's go in a survey thing, that is about 600 to 1700 operational facilities are present right now in India for senior citizens. And in that 480 plus old age homes are present, and 60 plus senior living development programs are undertaken from on 84 cities, towns, and districts. So this is a huge number where the people are working for the old age peoples, like youths are working for old age peoples. And in this 95,000 beds are available for old age peoples in old age homes. So with the growing time, this number of beds will go reach to 8 lakh to 10 lakh beds for old age people. And compounding all these things, that is 25% annual rise for the demand of all these old age homes will rise. Now, why will all this happen is because the socio-economic lifestyle change in the country. Previously, the some 50% members in the family used to stay in home, take care of the children, take care of the senior citizens in the home, and 50% family members used to go out and work. But now the thing has happened, that is, there is a nuclear family. The woman in the house also goes for working. She's also independent economically and socially. But there are no people or no member to take care for elderly people, and that is the reason why the youths or the members are feeling burden for the old age people. But if we consider, life is not only about developing economically or career wise, life is also about giving proper social responsibility towards this, towards not only children or the abandoned or that, but old age people also. Now this topic for senior citizens is actually not heard well or not acted upon well in our society. But as we know that history is very important to take care of now. So in the same way, to take care of the old age people is to understand that we are preserving our alive history, their experiences, their guiding points, their motivations, because they have seen 60 or 70 years in lifespan they have followed, and that is the 60 or 70 years of experience they are having.
Please be brief.
Yeah, sure, sir. So the overall concluding thing what I want to tell is being sensitive towards this sector, that is senior citizen, is most important thing, because after all the motivation that we get, the experience that we get, and overall development of the society starts from taking care of every section of the society, also the senior citizenship. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bhageshri, for giving your views, very, very positive views. But I will tell you one thing very clearly. The fault lies with senior citizens also somewhat. Senior citizens expect too much from the youth, from the younger generation. And once that expectation level is so high, once their expectation level is not met or not fulfilled, then they feel bad. And that is, in my opinion, the senior citizens should not expect much from the younger generation, and younger generation should also give respect whatsoever they deserve. So it is you have to clap with the both hands, and that is why responsibility lies with the senior citizens also, like we are talking about the responsibility of youth. Thank you very much, Ms. Bakshri. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Ms. Bhavna Pais. Ms. Bhavna, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, as well as earlier youth guest. Now, we would like to know from you your views on senior citizens.
Thank you. My name is Bhavna. I'm from Mangalore and I study in class 9th standard. I'm from St. Teresa's School, and today I will be talking about the importance of senior citizens. Our globe is a beautiful world to live in. Our precious life is a simple chance to enjoy, experience, observe, contemplate, and live. Aren't we all lucky to pass through this world, leaving our footprints for our family and friends to emulate? Variety is the fundamental rule of our universe. The scenic beauty adorned by different types of species and humans. The crown of creation is a human being, a baby, a child, a teenager, a youth, an adult, and a senior citizen. People who are above 60 years of age are considered as senior citizens. When, as a teenager, experiencing any views on senior citizens, the picture before me is of my loving grandparents. There was a time when society could boast of beautiful joint families, the elders or senior citizens holding a place of importance as the heads of the families. They were respected and feared. Their words were law, and stories of wisdom were always savored. Today, it is nuclear families, father, mother, and children, often senior citizens or grandparents. The strong family fabric built with values is now destroyed. As the juncture, the question before you and me is, can we live without our elders? Today, I am a teenager and a youth, but after some decades, Will I still remain a teenager? Is the family complete without senior citizens? Life is a circle. What goes around has to come full circle. Here I am, reminded of a WhatsApp forward with the title 60 plus is the age bar, and the contents. A massive study in America has found that most productive age is 60 to 70. So, therefore, I would like to conclude that every senior citizen must be respected, whatever their age is just a number. So, that is why, as youth, we must serve them. And senior citizens, also, as the host had said, they shouldn't expect too much from the youth, so that we can also give them their needs. And it is a two-way process. So, the youth can love senior citizens, and senior citizens also take care of the youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bhavna, for giving your views. Very, very positive views. And as you mentioned about the joint family and nuclear family, yes, we have seen, but this is the fact of the life, because now development is taking place. The youth have to go for their for work, for the further studies, and they have to go to the big cities or metro cities, or many times abroad also for studies and work. So that's why the nuclear family has increased than versus the joint family. But during this pandemic, what we have seen in last 1.5 years, that wherever the joint families, they were very happy, because they were passing their time, they were spending their time talking to each other, playing games, etc., together with the grandparents. Everyone was to act. But where the nuclear family, when the husband is doing work from home, wife is doing work from home, and the child is busy either online education and whatnot, but there is no time for them to interact, and that has created a very, very big impact. So what you are saying is right. The joint family was a better option, is a better option, but because of the development, because of the further education, the youth have to go. But because of the advancement of the technology, even persons who are staying apart from their senior citizens or grandparents, they are in touch with them through the video calls and FaceTime, which was not available earlier. So right now, even if the nuclear family can also be in touch, rather can talk with their grandparents and the parents whenever they require. Thank you very much, Ms. Bhavna, for giving your very, very beautiful, I must say, the thoughts about the senior citizens. And now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Ms. Bhumika JS. Ms. Bhumika JS, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, as well as you have heard the earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you your views on the senior citizens. Ms. Bhumika JS, please.
Hello, good morning. My name is Bhumika and I'm currently studying in third year in Electronics and Communication Department of Sri Madhva Vadiraja Institute of Technology and Management, Bantakal. We human beings have the tendency to sort people into categories. In fact, we have been categorizing people since dawn of civilization. A senior citizen is someone who has attained the age of 60 or more. According to different people, they have different opinions and perspectives on senior citizen, and it's changing continuously. For some of them, senior citizens are considered to be light, while some of them considered to be burden. According to me, I firmly believe that senior citizens are light of our life. Gray hairs and stiff joints would not prevent them from being a strong foundation of our society. Maybe some of the senior citizens are physically weak, but their ocean of immense experience has become a lesson for us. It is a new learning thing for us. We actually can learn so many things from them too. Most importantly, I wanted to mention the fact that the tradition, the cultural values, they are being preserved by guardians of the society who are senior citizens. They pass on their values and culture onto us, and we, as responsible people, we should pass on to the next generation. By this way, the cultural heritage is also preserved. So as youth, what we can do is helping the elderly. We have to usually volunteer in our community or even in our locality. Senior citizens are also like small kids. They are sensitive and innocent. No matter where we live, there will be senior citizen. It might be our neighbors, it might be someone from our home, our grandparents, everyone. They don't usually say that they need our help, but a simple "I'm there, don't worry, I'll help you" can make wonders. That will actually make their day. Spending time with them. In today's era, everyone is busy. Only the thing is, when I only can remember spending my time with grandparents when I was young. Young in the sense when I was studying in school. I used to have holidays. I used to just love to go to vacations to my granny's house. The tasty dishes which she would make. Those memories actually, it's such a wonderful memories which I miss it now. Because of my education, I can't go out, and because of this lockdown, it's not possible for me to communicate properly with them. And those things are some of the things which we can enjoy. The ones who have their grandparents at home, or the ones who have neighbors who are senior citizens, you can just spend your time with them. Just spending time with them, according to research, has improved the mental and physical health of the senior citizens also. You get confidence when you speak with them, because they have immense amount of experience in their life. Maybe if I give an example, there is a task which has to be completed within some amount of time. As a newbie, as a fresher, I may take 8 hours to complete it. But as a senior citizen, their experience and their guidance can help me to complete the same work within 2 hours. That is it. They have seen life more than us. Whatever problems we see nowadays in our life, they have faced it earlier, and they know how to deal with it. They can tackle it easily. So that's all. That's it. I wanted to talk about the experience. And third most thing is hearing from them. We human beings, no matter what our age is, we love to talk. We want to communicate. We want to share our feelings. And even senior citizens, they also want to share their feelings, share their experiences. The stories. I remember my granny telling me stories of her childhood. Those were the best stories which I could ever think of. No matter what good novel I read, or what movie I see, nothing can match the story which my granny used to tell me, because those were the real life experiences, and the stories would always amaze me. And having fun with them. We always have that idea that senior citizens are kind of serious, but that's not totally true. They too also love having fun, playing damsharats with them, or having drama or acting or sharing your stories. This can actually lighten their mood. It will also help you to create a bond among the senior citizens also. And the major things which arise are, how can we ensure that older adults receive the support they need to adopt to their houses, and so these are the major things we have to look into. Still, there is a generation gap which we can say from senior citizen and us, but because it's not the same thing. The life which they have lived is not similar to what we are living right now. It's completely different. But the thing is, when we have coordination, as sir said, we can live a peaceful and very enjoyable life with them. So in the conclusion, I would like to say that today's seniors are no less. They're able to participate in society more actively and contribute immensely, even at such an advanced age. But still, there is work to be done from our side and from them also. We need to be more open to them. We need to, we as youngsters, we think that privacy is everything. We just don't share anything to them. We don't share it to our friends either. But that should change. We need to share everything to them, so that the gap will be lessened. There will be no gap. We should never doubt the contributions of our senior citizens, not as a group, not individually. So this is all I wanted to say about senior citizens.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Bhumika. And you said that there should not be a gap, and we must try to coordinate with each other. Yes, the coordination is a key point. If the youth or the young generation is coordinating with the senior citizens. Just see, the senior citizens, more or less, they have seen the entire life. They have earned whatsoever they wanted to earn: money, the name, fame, everything. So right now they are at this age, they are only interested for the love from their grandchildren, from their children. And if they are getting that love doesn't mean that one has to spend 8 hours or 10 hours with them. Even 5 minutes, if you are talking for 5 minutes in a very good way with them, they will feel that they have achieved everything. For them, those 5 minutes are really very, very, I must say, the entire day is made for them. So if the youth make a point, even if you are in a remote place, you can give a call. Nowadays, the mobile phone is everywhere. Give a call, talk to them, make a point to talk to them for 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Even those 2 minutes will work for them as a booster for their another many years to live. Thank you very much, Ms. Bhumika. And this coordination point, I'm sure all our youths and all the viewers who are watching our shows must understand this coordination is very, very important. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she's Miss Meghna A. Miss Meghna A, you have heard what our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai has spoken, and all earlier guests have spoken. Now, we would like to know from you your views on senior citizens. Miss Meghna A, please.
Yes, sir. I'm Meghna from Kulapati Munshi Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Pottur, Kerala. I'm a grade 11 humanities student. Before I start, I want to thank everybody, especially my teachers, Mr. Lal Goel sir, and all the Global TV members for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. Senior citizens are the treasure of our society. They're a link of past, present, and future. They have seen the past and pace of progress throughout their life. Respecting elders was given due importance in our Indian culture. Showing respect to elders is a very important aspect in our Indian culture. Allowing them to speak first or greeting them, these all were considered to be some respectful behavior from our side. In the past, we had a joint family system. But now, because of urbanization and globalization, people prefer nuclear families. They have started migrating to cities, or they have started moving abroad for better living conditions. But the major impact of this nuclear families has always been on our senior citizens. They tend to have a lonely life. Children are so busy in their life that they tend to forget our senior citizens and our elders. In this digital era, the present generation is confined into their mobile phones and laptops, because the senior citizens are not able to impart their valuable insights to their grandchildren or our present generation. Even if grandparents are in the same house, they are not given due importance and they feel left out. This has created a gap between the senior citizens and the present generation, I would say. Now, what we can do is we can just call them earlier, like Mr. Lal Goel sir said, we can call them or visit them. That can actually make their day. Now, another major issue that they face is financial problems. They're completely dependent on their grandchildren or their children financially, making their lives difficult. So, medical benefits can be made more affordable to our senior citizens. They should be made aware of all this pension plans or life insurance schemes. This is very important in our present world, I would say. They have worked really hard to provide their families a better living condition. But today, I feel they're not receiving what they actually deserve. Majority of our senior citizens live in financial hardship basically because they are not in a position to earn now. Even though there are certain laws like Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007, which was initiated by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India, by this act, it legalizes that youth or children should provide parents basic facilities and monthly allowances. Even though such policies exist, there are still some cases in our country. Like recently, I read a newspaper article where a man just demolished his mother's house and then locked her in the toilet for days. I mean, an 80-year-old woman was locked in the toilet. That is just a cruel act. These all makes people believe that humanity doesn't exist in our society. But then that's not true. Like a coin, if there is something negative, there is always something positive. So it is our responsibility to create awareness and change our attitude. Another major point that I wanted to highlight is that most of our senior citizens have immense knowledge in some areas. Like they are really wise men and women in our society. Like earlier, one of our panelists, Bhagyashree, had said that senior citizens are a live library. That is completely true. Like earlier, farmers knew how to prevent or protect their crops from pest attacks without using all these modern inputs. Or in tribal areas, they used to build like well-equipped houses without using all these modern inputs. So there are like many untold stories with them. They know the local histories, but these are not documented anywhere. Only when we document it, it becomes history. Only when we document it, it will help our future generation. So there is a need to engage our senior citizens in such activities so that they can impart their valuable insights to our present generation. This will make them feel that they are someone who is valuable. They are not a burden for a society, but they are an asset for our society. So we should try to make them feel special. Apart from all the material things, we should provide them non-materialistic things like love, care, respect, and most importantly, a valuable part of our time. We should try to understand them. Just ask them how their day was or how they are feeling physically or mentally. That is very important. So let's try to understand them. Let's try to spend a quality time with them, and let's create awareness and try to change their attitude from today onwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Meghna, for giving your views. You have mentioned one very important aspect of for the senior citizens, that was the financial condition. Youth should understand why they are facing hardship today or financially, if they are, because they have spent all their earnings on the next generation or their children, and that's why they are become hand to mouth. And in many cases, in India especially, the son or the daughter try to take all the property in their name, and they have to be forced to transfer the properties, and that is a very bad thing. We should not force anyone who is a senior citizen and give them full respect. After all, when they will not be there, everything belongs to the children. So why to force them? And as you have mentioned about one incident, so many incidents are taking place. But yes, financially, the fault also lies somewhat with the senior citizen. Why they are transferring everything to their children? They should keep for themselves till the time. After all, whatsoever is residue, whatsoever is saved after their death, it will come to the children. So fault lies with the senior citizen also. Senior citizen who are watching this show, please don't transfer entire money. Your responsibility is to see to it that the child should be educated properly. Once the education is over, responsibility of the parent is over. I must say, even for the wedding of the child, please don't spend much money. That is a wasteful expenditure. Only a very nominal money if you want to spend. Otherwise, go for the court marriage route, so that you will be saving money for yourself, for your old age. After all, tomorrow, nobody knows what will be the future. And in this pandemic, we have seen many cases where the jobs of the parents or the son and the daughter are nowhere, or not daughter-in-law, then the savings of the grandparents were used to save the family. So when the grandparents, so please save the money. Whenever there is any emergency, then they can spend. Thank you very much, Ms. Meghna, for raising this financial point. It's a very, very important point. And to all the youth, please see to it that you should become independent as early as possible. See, when we say why USA is developing, why Western countries are developing, because their youth start working from age of 12, 13. While in India, even 25, 27 or 30 years, they are not working. And that's why the senior citizen have to spend the entire savings whatsoever, and many times they have to take loan to see the education. Thank you very much, Ms. Meghna. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Mr. Parthvik Sethi. Mr. Parthvik Sethi, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, as well as earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you your views on senior citizens. Mr. Parthvik Shetty, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir, and good morning to ma'am, and a very good morning to all the youth guests and all the viewers. So my name is Prathvik. I'm doing MBA in Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, which is NITE, and like talking about the youth, talking about like senior citizens. Like Bhavana said when she was telling that beautiful picture of grandfather comes to her mind. I was literally thinking about my grandfather because I was quite fortunate that I got to live with him, that I got to spend time with him for close to like 15 years. And then again, my granny was there. And as everyone was talking about the experience, I too agree with the point that experience they've got is like massive. We youth are very much into technology, but the senior citizens, what we call, they are like very much into knowledge. Like a couple of days back, I was talking to my aunt. She's 60 plus, and then she's spent like 40 plus years in Mumbai, and I had to know something about Mumbai, and what information she gave was like amazing. She knows in and out of Mumbai, so what knowledge they have got, we need to utilize. And like talking about their experience again, I like whenever something happens, like earlier we were not very much into going to hospitals and all those things if we are sick for smallest reasons, like a bit of fever, a bit of temperature, and all those things. We used to talk to our grandparents. We used to ask them like, "I'm having this thing. What can I do?" And they used to give home remedies, which used to work better than what these hospitals or what the all the medicals and hospitals they give. They prescribe. And what can we do these days when there is a lot of panic in the world because of this COVID-19? Like what we can do for our senior citizens. So like when there is corona is still there in the country and as well as the world, and it is not very wise to allow senior citizens, not only in our houses, even in our neighborhood and all those places. We should not really let them go out and get their things. We should probably go proactively to them, ask them if they need something, if it is a grocery, if it is a medicine, or getting in touch with their grandchildren's or their children's. So these kind of small helps we should be able to do, and we should do it as youth, because as we all know, like going out, like if being youth, being youngsters, our immunity is better than senior citizens most of the times. So it would be quite risky for them to go outside and get things. So giving that sort of small assistance, going out to them and asking them if they need anything, especially at this time when there is a lot of panic, would be very helpful for them. And then helping them with, I mean, as these days things are going too much into technology, and they are not really very expert in that technology part. We should assist them, as we know a bit of about a bit of we have a lot of knowledge about technology. We should assist them with their things. Yeah, that's it, sir. So I would say that we should always I would conclude like by saying that we should always use the wisdom and the knowledge which our senior citizens have. And these days we should always be a helping hand to our senior citizens. And yes, so that's it. And thank you so
Okay,
much for giving the opportunity.
thank you very much, Mr. Prathvik Shetty, for giving your views. You also mentioned, and the earlier Ms. Bhagshri also mentioned about the library. Yes, the senior citizens are like a moving encyclopedia. But if you are using that, if you go to a library, use a book and return it. Here, the senior citizen wants your love. They don't want anything else. Take the knowledge. Even many times it happens that their knowledge is obsolete. Their knowledge is not updated what you have, the youth have. But never show to them that they are not knowing anything. Treat them like one of the panelists says, they are like child. So even a child is doing something which you know that it is wrong, but you many times ignore. Similarly, if they are telling you something and if you feel that they are not updated, what is the latest thing, just show yes. You must not give any negative comment to them. they will be very happy. And that's what they want. They are not interested for taking anything from you. They just want love. And the love can be given like this. And this is what today is required. And that's why I always say, give the respect, love. Our chief guest has also mentioned the respect, love, knowledge, everything. They have everything, no doubt about it. But only thing is how you would like to see from your angle. If you see that they are full of love, then yes, many times it happens. The youth wants to go out in the night, and the grandparent or grandmother says, why you are going at this time? This is not the time. In our time, we never used to go like late, so late. And youth become irritable. No, you should understand at that time, electricity was not there, or it was there, but security reasons and many reasons, no proper vehicles. Now you all have the vehicles. So you can explain them in a very, very mild way, in such a way that they understand and they are understandable. It's not like this. Only thing is, if you say, no, this is my, please mind your business, that is a wrong concept. You just explain, no, granny or grandpa, I have to go because of these reasons. Definitely, they will allow, and they will feel, no, you are doing rightly, not wrong. Otherwise, they will be not sleeping till the time you are not coming back. And that is bad for their health. So this is also a way to show love. Thank you very much, Mr. Pratvik. And I'm sure the way you people are expressing, I am becoming emotional. And I feel that all the senior citizens are feeling proud to hear the views which you are giving, all of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Pratvik Shetty. I would like to invite my next guest, and he is Mr. Puneet PR. Mr. Puneet PR, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, as well as all earlier youth guests. Now, we would like to know your views on senior citizens. Mr. Puneet PR, please.
Okay, sir. Good morning, all. I am Puneet PR, pursuing my social work in Alvas Degree College, Mudbidre, and recipient of National Award in the field of social work with the title Sirigannada Rashtriya Sesta Yomanava Ratna. And I am a freelance skill development trainer. A warm greetings to all the senior citizens who showed a light for us to move forward. And everybody thinks that senior citizen means a time of retirement and everything goes down, like their financial status, thinking ability and physical activities. But it is not a reality, because age is just a number and every ends have a new beginning. So having this thought, I would like to give my view on senior citizens. Firstly, I would like to request all my dear parents and youths to not separate the senior citizens among themselves or among from the family, because their health also equally important in the society. Their mental, physical and social health is so much important, and senior citizens are considered as wisdom or walking encyclopedia, and they have a lot of experience that we could learn from them. Making separation is a less advantage for us, because as I said, they have a lot of things to share with us. We need to know from them, and our movement and action should go along with the views of senior citizens, because they knew the future consequence in their life. They experienced it. So, and my next point is active lifestyle. It's a widely accepted notion that physical activity is meant for all the physical and social and psychological aspects. And nowadays we can see that senior citizens are also involving in the physical activities by doing walking, yoga and meditation exercise. Although they are also finding a better purpose of living forward. Those better purpose are helping youths, guiding them, motivating us, also mainly helping us to set our goals. And what is that we are giving to them? Just few minutes of time. Just those time, those valuable time must be care and love, and we should concern them. They only expect our physical presence for some time, not 24/7. Just let us give that. And a positive mindset. After all facing lots of ups and downs in their life, they came to conclusion that every problem have a solution, that we don't agree or we don't do youth maybe. And they came to know that every problem have a solution. Instead of thinking about the problem, just thinking of the solution. Work on it. That we need to learn from the senior citizens. It only possible when we are engaging with them, coordinating with them, support them, being with them. And my next point is staying with a great decision making ability. The senior citizens have good decision making ability. That ability increase their confidence, also the self-esteem. So lot of things to learn from the senior citizens. Maybe we can ask about the past education system comparing with a present education system or political system, maybe about the value of joint family that we may not see nowadays, and importance of joint family and their learnings. With concluding all this, I would like to say, please give a valuable time to the senior citizen, respect them, coordinate with them, be with them for some time, at least not 24/7, for some time. So I would like to conclude with this thought. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Chief Editor Lal Goel sir and Chief Guest Dr. Vinita Raimai, and all the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Puneet PR, for giving your views. Yes, you said we must give time to them. They are visionaries. They are walking encyclopedia. I can put it in this way that a youth today, they are successful in their field, whether they are becoming engineer, doctors, or management guru, or whatnot. But if you cannot manage your own home, if you cannot manage your own grandparents or the senior citizens, how you will term yourself as a successful person? So if you want to be successful in your life, see to it that first your house should be in order, and house means your parents, your grandparents, and definitely your spouse if you are married, or otherwise everyone. So my point is, if you are keeping them happy by just sharing, as you have mentioned, the love, they are not interested in your money, they are not interested in anything, they just want the love. If you are caring them, if you are sharing and caring with them, they are more than happy, and their blessings which are going to be with you always. Try to understand what you are today because of them. If they would have not cared of your parents, you would have not been there. I'm talking of the grandchildren. So basically it has come from the grandparents or great grandparents, etc. So we must give respect and love and care to them. That is what you can return, nothing else. They don't want money, they don't want anything. Care, yes, in those cases where the money has been all spent, yes, whatsoever their basic needs, they want only that. They are not interested to spend money, waste money. They just want their basic needs. Thank you very much, Mr. Puneet, for giving very, very positive views. Now I'm inviting my next guest, youth guest, and she is Miss Shifali Shukla. Miss Shifali Shukla, you have heard our chief guest, Miss Shifali Shukla. You are there? Yes. You have heard.
Sir.
Yes, you have heard our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, as well as earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you your views on senior citizens. Miss Shifali Shukla, please.
Thank you for having me, sir. And I'd like to greet all the attendees. A very good morning. I would actually, when I came across the topic Youth Conclave for Senior Citizens, like any of us,
please introduce yourself.
Sure. Like Sir said, my name is Shifali Shukla, and I was an advertising student until last year. I did my PGDM and specialized in advertising and communication from DGMC College. And I live here in Mumbai, Maharashtra. And currently, I'm working in an advertising agency, and I'm just, this is my first job, and I'm just, I can say I'm stepping into an adult's shoes and learning the ways of, working and earning money. And so, like I was saying, when I came across the topic for today, the first thing obviously that came to my mind were my grandparents and my parents as well, because it's not just because of the senior part of the topic. It's because I know for a fact that my grandparents and their parents, my great grandparents, have been a part of building societies up and building communities up, and they've helped so many people, and I've always been inspired by them. And another thing that I came across when I was looking out for this topic was a YouTube video, a very well story narrated by Dr. Mukesh Sharma. He was actually my former dean in DGMC, but currently he is a dean in NMIMS College, again another college in Mumbai. So the title of that story was Kahani Kharab Mobile Phone Ki. And the story was very short and it was very interestingly put by Dr. Mukesh Sharma, where he said that there was an elderly person and he had recently purchased a phone. And he said that he took the phone to a service center and he spoke to a technician saying that nobody, like, I don't receive any calls and I think my phone is broken. So can you please look into my phone and see what the problem is? And the technician said, sir, very well, I'll just look into it and I'll let you know what the problem is. After a while, when he gets back to that old person, to the senior person who visited the technician says that, sir, I checked your phone thoroughly and there is no problem in your phone, and there is basically your phone is perfectly all right and there are no issues. So he after the technician said this, the senior person was somewhat upset and he looked at him again and he said that, are you 100% sure that my phone is is in a working condition? He said, sir, definitely I've checked it thoroughly twice and there's no problem. So the elder person says, then why does nobody call me? Like, if my phone is working, why don't my children or my grandchildren, they never call me? So that's the point where, it hit me that, okay, even when I know that I'm not being able to live with my grandparents, I live in the city, they live elsewhere, they live in the outskirts. And I know for a fact that I can connect with them, if not personally, if not physically, giving our current scenario. We can make out time, even if not daily, if I may say so, even if not on a daily basis, we can actually find some time if we make a conscious effort for them. Because after all, like every one of y'all pointed out, they are the pillars of our society. And they are the ones who actually helped us, shape ourselves, shape our minds. And they gave, if not 100%, they gave most of the time and most of their energy and efforts for our growth and development. So that's what I'd like to point out. That was an interesting story.
Okay.
And
Okay.
just
Yes, please. You want to say something?
Just one last thing, sir. I actually like, I know that I'm repeating this, but a lot of panelists pointed out that I think parents and grandparents, I also believe in this, and I think parents and grandparents are nothing but children themselves, because nobody can fully prepare you, how to parent. Is I know that I'm not a parent, but from what I've heard from my parents, nobody can fully prepare you to be a parent, or how, because children every year or every stage of their life, they keep changing. So there are new things, new developments, and there are new opportunities and challenges for parents to learn from. So I would just say that we should be patient, and there should always be room for learning from both ends, from the children's end, from the parents and grandparents end. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Shefali Shukla. And I must compliment you for mentioning about Dr. Mukesh Sharma. And especially if you talk about any of your teachers or professors and quote them, that shows that respect. And Dr. Mukesh Sharma used to come on our shows very regularly. On this Sunday, again, he will be on my show. One point which you have mentioned about that to make call in a week or 3 days or 4 days. Why? My question to all the youth are, you have 24 hours, you are chatting, you are talking to your friends almost the entire day. That is a complaint of everyone. that you are talking, might be for your education purpose or for your business purpose, but for 1 minute to say I have no time, even a minute in 24 hours is not an excuse. You just see the change in your grandparents' attitudes, in your attitude. Give a call every day, make a point, 1 minute only. Just, and they will say, yes, what happened? But no, 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 I just want to talk to you. Everything is fine, fine. Okay, thank you. That much will work as a health booster to your grandparents. They will feel that so no need of their taking some medicines or taking vitamins. This is the vitamin E. You just try, and you try for a week or 10 days. And if it doesn't work, just message me. You all have my numbers, and say that you are telling lie. But I am telling you with my own experience, this 1 minute talk will make their day and will give them the energy which they other and the hopes which they have in their mind. If mentally they will be very, very happy to hear only 1 minute talk from you, especially the grandchildren. And that is what youth has to do. Thank you very much, Ms. Shifali, for giving such and narrating that story. Yes, it is real, and it has happened many times. It happens, and it is very painful for a grandparent not to hear from the children or from the grandchildren. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next youth and the last but not the least youth guest, and she is Miss Shivani R. Jadhav. Miss Shivani R. Jadhav, you have heard what our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, has mentioned, and the earlier youth guest. Now we would like to know from you your views on senior citizens. Miss Shivani R. Jadhav, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here with you all and listen such a great speaker. Greetings to all. Very good morning to respected Vinita ma'am, Goel sir, and all the listeners who are watching live today. We are joining with us, and all my co-penalties with us. A very good morning. I heard all the views, thoughts by all the penalties. It is very overwhelming that I heard all the thoughts by my co-penalties. I want to say that when I came across with this topic, the senior citizen.
Can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Shivani Jadhav from Sangli. I lives in a Sangli, and now I am pursuing a graduation in a social work from the college, the Yashwantrao Savan School of Social Work, Satara. So I'll start. When I came across with this topic earlier, and I talked with my friends and families, and I run to my grandmother and talk with her, and to just get to know about the small things, which makes my thoughts more clear, and I'll get the one perspective. With that thought, I run to my friends and ask about, do you have any perspective about the senior citizen? What do you want to say about this? And all maximum people says, okay, senior citizen, I know that there are grandmother and grandfather, and somehow somewhere I feel that it is an ignored topic. It is an ignored section of our society. There's nobody we know there is a grandmother and there is a grandfather. What about their problems? What they're about mental health? What about their presence in our life? Nobody talks about it, and I feel so sad that we never thought about them. So when I started thinking about them, I realized the some of things, that senior citizen is the most important part of our society, of our world, because they play a role of a guide. Because every time when we are child, no, when we have a problem, we run to our grandmother and ask for that. Aji, what is this? What we should do? And she immediately give the answer of that, because they have all the answers of our questions, our stupid questions, I must say. And they act like a guide, because I really believe in that fact that every house should have a grandmother or a grandfather, because they play a role of a guide. They have tremendous experience, because it is an interesting fact that they have lived in a 2 centuries and many decades. Means they have lived in a 19th century also nowadays, because they have the both perspective, both lives. They have seen a lot of things, and that's why we must say that they have the tremendous experience, the perspectives, the knowledge about the all the things. It is a one thing I want to flash a light on it. Second thing, there is when we talk about the economical strength, when we talk about the physical health, yeah, it is important. And the government has a provision about the retired old age senior citizen peoples. Like I know few of them schemes like a Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandana Yojana, Indira Gandhi National Old Age pension scheme. Like there is some provision, but what about their mental health? What about their emotional strength? What about emotional support? What else they want? They just want loved, to be cared, and most important, respect and support. Because the by passing the day by day, they have weakened by physically. They have pain in their arms and their legs and all the stuff they are suffering from. And what they love, what they want, they just want love, to be loved. And third thing is the, I think I believe in the human being is the social unit in our society. They people are surrounded by the people, and I don't think so anyone in the world can live without a human being. Means I'm a human being, I can't imagine the world without the other human being. And nowadays in a pandemic, what happened, the isolation, the quarantine, that matter comes, that in this disease we have to be isolated ourselves, and we will be adjust because we have phones, laptops, we have lots of web series. We will survive, we will pass the 14-15 days easily. But what about their senior citizen? How they will pass the 14 days without their loved ones? And we never thought about it. We have so much care about them that it is a mandatory, it is important to be isolated for themselves, for the rest of the family members. But what about their mental health? Are they will be the okay with that? Are they will be the adjust with the fact? No. How they will be? They have the means they are in that is there is no mental state that they will accept the fact, because for a 14 and 15 days we will live without my grandchildren, without my spouse, without my partner. So we should think on that topic also. And the third, I must say, when one senior citizen lost their spouse, how will be suffered? They lost their companionship, they lost their partner, and at that time they become somehow weak. And that time they need more support, they need more love. I repeatedly saying that what I really believe in, that they don't need anything apart from love, respect and love. Once in a stage of the life, at the one point of our life, we lost our spouses. And at that time, what we want only love, the companionship. And I don't think so there is much efforts to give a love. There is no spending a money to means there is no need to be a spend money on to be loved. So that's it. I want to conclude with the three facts that we must have a look on the mental health of the senior citizen. Second, as Vinita ma'am said, there is three things, that is love, care, respect. And the third thing about the pandemic, the isolation part, we should be think about on these things also. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shivani Jadhav, for giving your views. And you rightly mentioned about the mental health. See, it's not only the mental health. Once a senior citizen which crosses the age of 60 or 65, the other organs start not functioning that properly, which they were functioning at the time of youth. It can be the hearing problem, vision problem, as you have already mentioned about the walking, the pains will start, the joint pains will start. So they require physical as well as emotional or the mental support from their children or the grandchildren. And the role of grandchildren or the youth is far more even from the children, because the grandparents have more affection to their grandchildren. This is the fact, not here, all over the world. They feel that the grandchildren, because for their own children, they have to spend at that time their money, and they have to do very much hard work. But now when they have succeeded and making their own children in such a position that they can relax, and when the grandchildren comes, their love, only love goes to the grandchild with the time, because then they have the time. But unfortunately, the grandchildren have no time. They are more busy with their other things. They should understand, if they will give some time, as I said, 1 minute in 24 hours, that is more than enough for any of the or senior citizen to be happy, to be very, very happy. And mentally, you rightly said, because what happened when they feel loneliness, they have lots of thinking going on. What is good, what my grandchild is doing, what my child is doing, are they safe, are they happy, they have no crisis, no position. So that is creating a problem. Sometimes they go on the depression, sometimes they become overhead active. So all these things can be removed by 1 minute call. Even 1 minute call every day can remove all these diseases, whether it is a mental or even physical. And grandchild can encourage the grandparent, as one of the panelists mentioned, that they are like child. Yes, if you remember your childhood, how the grandparents or the parents encourage you to walk when you are not knowing walking, or your younger sister or brothers, you might have seen how they have trained them, they have done everything. But now when you have become grown up, it's your responsibility to take care of grandparents or the senior citizens. So thank you all for giving. I think we have lost the connection of our chief guest, but now she is trying to connect. If she will be there, we will take a concluding remark. Otherwise, I have to conclude myself. But it's very, very, I must say, very enlightening. For me, being a grandparent, I know what I expect from the grandchildren, and what you have mentioned. I am feeling that my all grandchildren are talking to me like this. So I'm so happy. Are you there, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai? We have lost you. Now, are you there? Please
Yes,
switch on your video.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
They all have spoken very nicely. You have heard. To be very frank, I am overwhelmed. So 2 minutes for you, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, to conclude.
Okay. It was very nice listening to the positive views. I feel energetic and happy, and feel our future will be much better with such energetic, concerned youngsters who are going to be the pillars in the family system, especially the 3 Bs, Bhagyashri, Bhavana, and Bhumika, and 2 Ps with the Pratvik and Puneet, with the 2 Yes, Shifali and Shivani, with 1 M, Meghana. It was a wonderful session for me. I always say, when I mingle with my students, I forget my age. You may see my gray hair, but I have not yet become a senior citizen. Maybe within 3 years, I may become a senior citizen. But today, I am overwhelmed to hear about you. To conclude, I would like to say a few words. How do we improve this system? One thing, let us improve the family bonding. Let us transform in our houses into safety nests. Let us have some time for meal together. Let us have some time for prayer together. So family bonding, then neighborhood bonding is very important. Nowadays, we close down our houses and sit in our own houses. Let us have bonding in the neighborhood. Let us have bonding in our community. We have WhatsApp group of our community. Whenever we have some problem in our area, we communicate to each other and we help each other. That's how we support each other. And let us not wait for government to implement some act or some policies, whatever it may be. Let us be practical with the senior citizens. That is very, very important. And let us help to increase the socialization or the social circle, the like-minded people. Now, many organizations are coming forward to bring them together, especially even during this pandemic. There is this possibility where people come together virtually. Let us help them to, with the technology, let us help them to unite. Let us help them to come together. And let us widen our arms. Let us spread our lips. Let us smile at them. I would like to say, when the senior citizens feel powerless, let us listen to them. When they feel lonely, let us be their companions. When they feel they are useless, let us give importance to their words. When they are isolated, let us create that we feeling, be with them, and be a patient listener, be their companion. Let us reflect every day. From where do we start? Let us start from where I am. From when? From today. Every day throughout our life. This is my message. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, for giving such an inspirational and motivational thoughts, concluding remarks of yours. I am sure what you have mentioned, today's youth and what we have heard from our youth today, they are so much compensate. I am sure that they are going to do lots of things for the senior citizens, not only their grandparents, but all the senior citizens. And only 1 minute talk. I am sure all of you, if you will give a 1 minute talk, call to your grandparents from today onwards, you will find a drastic change. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, मलनाडु टीवी इंडिया, न्यूज गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, भारत post news, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day new topic. But for last 45 days, we have started a evening program where we call one achiever who has achieved something in the life and he has reached on the top. So today is my chief guest for the program called Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goel ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. That achiever is Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma. He's a renowned lawyer of Western UP from Mathura. He is going to tell his autobiography, how he has raised to become that one of the leading most lawyer of that area. So please tune in today for Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goel ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. Thank you very much, all the youth guests, and thank you very much, our chief guest, Professor Dr. Vinita Rai, for giving such an inspirational and motivational program. And all the youths have given so much energy to me. I feel today quite young then that I'm not feeling myself as a senior citizen. I'm also thinking that I am one of the youth, and I have a complaint with our chief guest that she has mentioned about S, P, and